Genshin Impact just revealed Nod-Krai, and they've also given us a date, 10th of September, and it's fabulous. It's fabulous. If you saw the live stream that they had yesterday, it revealed intricacies of Genshin's development that I feel like, many people were talking about, during the Natlan arc, during the Fontaine arc, whether, why the story is so bloated, why some parts of it feel disconnected, why are certain nations technologically advanced but others aren't. So a lot of them were addressed by the developers, and they have, assured us that moving forward they will try to make everything feel more cohesive in nature. And Nod-Krai is the convergence point of it all. It is like the middle of everything. If you have any idea of Norse mythology, how they described, what should I say, Nod-Krai, felt to me like, they were describing Yggdrasil, the world tree, where everything just, is present in the world tree. Everything is just over there. So the way that they said it, it all started at Nod-Krai. The Abyss invasion started at Nod-Krai. Nod-Krai has many factions, and I mean many. We have a list of it, from the Fatui to the Treasure Hoarders to the Voynich Guild, the Frostmoon Scions, the Wild Hunt, the Knights of Favonius, and the Lightkeepers. There are a lot. So I'm gonna talk about the 4 or 5, the 4 or 5 factions that were revealed in the past few days. I'm not going to talk about the Hexenzirkel or the Knights of Favonius, simply because we know the Knights of Favonius. We don't need to talk much about them. We know that, and we love them. We love Jean, we love Rosaria, D-Luke, Kaya, Eula, Albedo, Sucrose, Barbara, Noelle. So we love that family. And as for the Hexenzirkel, we know Alice plays a huge role in there, and we have met 2 other mages. I think there was one mage M in Fontaine, and then we met one other mage during the Mondstadt festival, if I remember correctly, when the Sumeru gang came over to Mondstadt. So we had a Hexenzirkel event over there. So we have met a few of those mages. Now first, we're going to talk about the Fatui. Now, before we begin, it's all titled Song of the Welkin Moon. Now, when I started paying for my Welkins, the blessing of the Welkin Moon, it was just, a subscription service. I never thought that this would have lore into it. But here we are. We have lore on a subscription package, which gives us 90 primos per day. Which is still one of the most economical thing that you could buy. I am advising you here, but if you want to support the game, if you want to pay money to the game, Welkin is the way to go, because if you play daily, you get a lot out of it from Welkins. I've just spent all my money on Welkins this year, and I've somehow gathered every Natlan character and every 5.x character up till now. So it's the way to go, man. It's the way to go. But that aside, we're gonna start with the Fatui. Now we have the Fatui photo over here with the 3 Fatui rangers, the 3 Fatui enemies, the Pyro, the Gunslinger, and then we have the Cryo dude, and then we have the Electro dude as well. And we all know what the Fatui is. We've met them since the beginning of this game. We've been fighting them since Mondstadt. I remember the one Fatui agent that we had outside of Dragonspine, and when I was new to the game, I just went ahead and fought them, and I got my ass kicked over there because they were so damn tough. Now they're like wet noodle, but still. So the Fatui play a huge role. They want, as you were told in the live stream, they're in Nod-Krai to gain power from the moon. Now Teyvat has 3 moons, so I've heard. I mean, I've not testified it. I'm not gone out and ventured every part of Teyvat to see whether they have 3 moons, but Teyvat has 3 moons, and in Nod-Krai there are certain factions who want to take control of the moon's power, and there are other factions who want the moon's power, who worship the moon, who worship the moon's power and take power from it. So it's like a difference over there. So the Fatui is of the initial gang. They want the moon's power, and I feel how the Fatui would play in is most likely the Harbingers are going to come in. We probably would have Columbina, or maybe Pantalone or Sandrone, or I don't know. There may be a few Harbingers that we might see in Nod-Krai. and we might get closer to what Snezhnaya is all about, like what's happening with the Cryo Archon, the Tsaritsa basically, and what is the situation basically. So I think Fatui is more focused on the Harbingers and not the Fatui themselves. That's just my guess. I mean, they can't just reveal Harbingers on the promo pic, right? They need to put in the grunts. But alright, after Fatui, we have the Frostmoon Scions. Now, the Frostmoon Scions are a pretty interesting group because, as you were told in the live stream, they are people who worship the moon, who worship the moon's blessing. They worship the Welkin Moon. They use the moon's power to, like, do something. And they've been, like, what I feel is that they're a shy bunch of people. They like, they live in the mountains and all, and they live in the icy peaks and just, be like shamans and monks or something like that. That's my, like, what should I say, assumption. And I could be wrong. Don't take my word for, like, it's perfect and all. I'm just assuming things and just expecting things. But the Frostmoon Scions seem to be like shamans basically, shamans who live in the mountains. A good example would be, I think, if you've played Knights, there's this entire sect of Cyclopses in Sami, in the northern region where there's always snow. So you have shamans over there, so you have priestesses basically. So I feel the Frostmoon Scions could relate to that section. Like, I'm thinking that it's kind of like that. And as of now, we don't know much about them except for the fact that, they worship the moon and they are unique to Nod-Krai. So there we have it, the Frostmoon Scions. They have a pretty damn good name. Like, we have the Scions of the Canopy, but then we have the Frostmoon Scions. It's like Frost Moon. At first glance, they might feel like, they're the personal, what should I say, the personal connections of the Tsaritsa, because, the Frost Moon and all. But whatever the devs cook up, I am going to digest it. After that, after the Frostmoon Scions, we have the Lightkeepers. Now, the Lightkeepers just look amazing. Just look pretty damn amazing. They are absolutely peak. The idea behind them, I feel like, they are the rough, the hardened people who have continuously fought for their lives every single day against the abyssal corruption, against the corruption that is present in this world. They're trying to keep the light of the world. That's why they call the Lightkeepers. Now, once again, I'm relating this to Knights. If you have played Knights, I would recommend you to, like, Iberia, for people who know. If you don't know, go search it up. Iberia, the Iberian guards and all, Irene and Carmen, these guys have lamps when they fight. They have lamps to fight against the sea monsters, the sea creatures in Knights. In a similar fashion, I can see the Lightkeepers always having some sort of lamp on them. Like, the characters who would probably be from the Lightkeepers would have some sort of lamp on their body. It's like, it's kind of like a purifying light. Something like, I don't know, Expecto Patronum from Harry Potter, where, you have this pure light that can destroy corruption. It's kind of like similar to the purifying crystal that you get in the chasm. Like, you have to equip that gadget to destroy the abyssal corruptions and all. I feel these characters would have skills or gadgets on them. It's kind of amazing thought if you think about it. But that's my perspective, but that's my thoughts on the Lightkeepers, that I think there would be something like that. And I think they are mentioned in the latest artifact set that is for Varesa. Now, moving forward from the Lightkeepers, we have the Voynich Guild. Now, the Voynich Guild, honestly, if you have seen it or if you have read it, Shadow and Bone or Six of Crows, if you've seen the Netflix series Shadow and Bone, or if you've read the novel series Six of Crows, there's one place called Ketterdam. Now, that place is full of merchants, it's full of money, it's full of rich people, of the elite, of people who are trying to make a coin, a dollar or something. It's filthy, it's dirty, but it's a guild. It's their way of handling stuff. Or if you've played The Witcher 3, Novigrad, where you have the Bank of Novigrad and all. It's just a place where money runs wild, money runs easily, and everybody wants it, everybody plays with money. So that's my assumption on what the Voynich Guild is about. Now, it's not like the Adventurers Guild where you have Ad Astra, Abyssosque, and Catherine going, here's your rewards and enjoy and have a great day. No, what I think is that the Voynich Guild is filled with people who share information with Mora, or maybe not Mora, who just share information where, the price of getting something is information. You pay with information. Now, we did get some hints about it in the previous event, where we had one event where we had this one little boy from the Voynich Guild from Nasha Town. He was from Nod-Krai and he was in Natlan. So we had this one event where we got a few insights on the upcoming region, on Nasha Town basically, which is where the Voynich Guild is set. And I feel like, this is the way Voynich Guild is going to be. They're going to share information and you're going to get a bunch of lore. I think that's where majority of the lore is going to be, at least from my assumptions and all. I'm assuming it, everything. So even the artwork of the Voynich Guild reminds me of Ketterdam, of the places like, of Gringotts, Diagon Alley Gringotts from Harry Potter, or what should I say, a huge bank, if you know any other bank in any fantasy media. Like, I don't know, the only things that come to me right now are Harry Potter or the Witcher series, or, as I said, Shadow and Bone, Ketterdam. So that was for the Voynich Guild. Now the final one, the one that has me hyped up the most, honestly, the Wild Hunt. Now the Wild Hunt is one thing that I have loved ever since I played The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. I knew about the Wild Hunt. I knew about the fact that they were ghosts, they were spirit seekers, and they just explore the world on their own. They are not controlled by anything. They don't have a god overruling them. They are free, they are independent, and they do what they want. Now in The Witcher 3, they are shown to be the villains of the main game. Like, you have, I don't remember the name, but you have this really big bad knight. You have 3 knights that you fight throughout the game, and the main villains over there. So it's about perspective, it's about how you get inspired. Now in Genshin, the Wild Hunt, as the devs told us in the live stream, the Wild Hunt is basically the Abyss corruptions at their purest form, the first level, stage 0, patient 0. If you remember The Last of Us or The Last of Us Part 2, you have these certain bosses that are designated as, patient 0. The first case where that happened, I think it was The Last of Us 2, where you fight this really giant bloater or something. So the Abyss, the Wild Hunt in Genshin is the abyssal monsters at their purest form. They're patient 0. They're the first ones who got corrupted, and therefore they are the most corrupted beings on Teyvat. And it's insane. We got a few looks into their designs, and like most of the enemies that we fight who have proper heads, who have proper hands, who have proper bodies, the Wild Hunt, from what I saw, they don't have heads. The heads are wisps of purple smoke, purple fire, and half of their body is covered with embers, with purple and yellow embers. So they're corrupted beyond recovery. And it is absolutely insane that, something like that even exists. Now, we were told that Nod-Krai was the first region to get erupted by the abyss. That's where the abyssal eruption happened. So Nod-Krai was affected the worst, and that's why, people over there just live out their harsh lives. But the Wild Hunt, I feel like, these enemies, the enemies that we're about to fight, I mean, we saw the Papilla, we saw the Natlan bosses that were Abyss corrupted, where you had to beat them at Night Soul. If they have something like that in Nod-Krai, I mean, swear to God, I don't know what I'm gonna do. It's gonna be rough. It's gonna be rough, but I am excited for it. Because that is how you improve games. You have these gradually increasing enemies that are just so difficult but still so fun to fight, and that's what I want in an open world game. It makes the game feel like it's evolving, especially for live service games. Like, I would understand it if it's a $60 $70 game where you just get to one full package and you have full 50 hours to complete it with no future updates or something, but this is a game that gets updates every 1.5 months. So patch by patch, I see the evolution in it, I see the vision that they have. So that is it. The Wild Hunt is probably the most fascinating faction that I have, that I'm looking forward to. Now, apart from all that, also we have the Treasure Hoarders as well. I don't know how the Treasure Hoarders would fit in, but we're gonna see. We're gonna see when Nod-Krai drops. But the OST, now, if you have already heard about it, or if you haven't, this entire video would have that OST, because I'm gonna find it and I'm gonna paste it over here. The OST is so beautiful. It's so melancholic, but still, it's so, I don't know, it's just kind of frosty, but it's still very beautiful to hear. And when you hear it, you're just filled with this, like, I'm filled with this weird sense of sadness, but still there is some hope over there. And it's a very beautiful tune that they've crafted, and it just reminds me of certain tunes from The Witcher 3, from Skellige, or from Skyrim, where you venture into those northern regions, or from Sami. If you have heard Typhon's main song, I would recommend you. Mortal Eye is the name. It has that same vibe. Or if you've played Assassin's Creed Valhalla, when you're exploring Norway, it's just a very beautiful melody, and it just syncs so well with the entire theme of Nod-Krai. It's just so beautiful to listen to. And Genshin has never disappointed me with music, so I am thoroughly excited for what music they are coming up with for the new region, which is inspired by Norway, which is said to feature fjords. Now, if you don't know what fjords are, they're basically what should I say, rivers or water bodies in between two high cliffs or something like that. You've probably seen it everywhere. Even if you don't know about it, you've definitely seen it. If you've especially seen Frozen or Frozen 2, or played The Witcher 3 or Skyrim, you've definitely seen fjords. So they are adding fjords into the game, and with their art style, I'm just sure it's going to be super damn gorgeous to look at. Genshin is already a gorgeous game, and with Natlan they just exceeded my expectations, so I don't know how they can go much more ahead. They've also stated that Nod-Krai is on the edge of Teyvat, so it's probably much more to the left of what Natlan is, because we almost are at the end of the map in Natlan. If you check out the Collective of Plenty, they are they're the westmost thing on the entire continent of Teyvat. Even Inazuma isn't that west. So if it is on the edge of Teyvat, it's either on the eastern side or the western side. And if it's on the western side, then we have something extending more west than the Collective of Plenty or the Volcano, which is insane. And if it's on the eastern side, we are probably getting an expansion to Mondstadt as well, because Mondstadt is currently the most eastern part of Teyvat. So overall, I am super excited for what's about to come. And we had a new logo change. The logo looks pretty epic. Like, I like the slashes and all. It's a pretty neat design. It shows that the game is changing. The game is becoming different from what we thought. It's kind of like the moment where where in Harry Potter it's all fun and games up till Prisoner of Azkaban, but then when Goblet of Fire hit, you were hit with the darkness, with the heaviness of the story. Or you're playing you're watching Game of Thrones and it's all fun and games until Ned Stark dies. Or you're playing The Witcher 3 and it's all fun and games up until you meet Robert Baratheon. No, wait, not Robert Baratheon, sorry, that's Game of Thrones. When you enter the Witch's Bog and you meet that Duke or something, I don't remember his name, but yeah. So it's kind of like that, where you see that there's a sudden change taking place in the story, and it's only going to get darker and darker from here. So that's what I feel like. Genshin is going to get darker and darker from here. They're adding more lore to it, and if people who have already read the lore, they know that Genshin is a very dark world. Like, Teyvat is not all fun and games. Now they also mentioned that they are trying to improve the way the stories are told, the way how hangouts and story quests are presented, and they're trying to make it more immersive in nature. They're trying to upgrade the overworld and all. They will definitely be improving the performance, the performance requirements, because they just simply stated that people would have upgraded the phones by now. Even if they haven't, they thought that they would have. So like, yeah, better upgrade your phones or your laptops or your PCs or whatever. But honestly, I am excited for what is to come, and I hope Nod-Krai will not disappoint. It is a year-long adventure. It's kind of like Amphorius in Star Rail, but Amphorius hasn't been a hit for me. I just hope that Nod-Krai is, and I have faith in Genshin. I've been playing this game for the past 4 years, and never in a single day have I felt bored by it. So I have faith in this game, and I will see you in Nod-Krai on the 10th of September. Until then, please check out my channel. Have a great day, and please subscribe. And yeah, goodbye.